Thanks so much for being with us here on Atlanta News First Plus. I'm Joy Limnakran. Getting to some of the top stories that we're following right now on Catch Up Quick, I want to let you know that a controversial judge has now been removed from the bench. So we have been following the case of former Douglas County probate judge Christina Peterson. Well, now she has lost her job. Peterson was removed from office today after the Georgia Supreme Court ordered it effective immediately. In their opinion, they actually cite, quote, multiple violations of the Code of Judicial Conduct, including a, quote, flagrant disregard for the law. Peterson was arrested outside of a Buckhead nightclub last Thursday after allegedly hitting a police officer. 30 ethics charges were then brought against her by the Georgia Judicial Qualifications Commission. Peterson has faced judicial misconduct allegations since she was elected to the bench in an uncontested election in 2020. And then in late March, actually before her arrest, the Judicial Qualifications Commission had already recommended her removal from office on the basis of what they called systemic incompetence. Now, we have reached out to Peterson's attorney for comment. He said she is, quote, evaluating her options. We'll continue to follow all the latest developments on this case as we continue to uncover more information. All right, let's talk about this Clayton County officer-involved shooting that we have been following for you as well. And, you know, a teenager has now been identified as being killed in this shooting. A community mourning the loss of this young life. Neighbors are heartbroken. They say these were simply teenagers being teenagers. Atlanta News First Don Shipman is at the Clayton County Police Department in Jonesboro looking at the vast discrepancies between the police report and the GBI's preliminary report.
He made it to my fence.
Neighbors say this vacant house in the 3200 block of Chippewa Drive in Rex is a playground for teens. It's where 18-year-old Hakeem El Nas was shot and killed by a Clayton County police officer late Monday afternoon when officers were responding to a call of suspicious activity at the house.
It wasn't on no gangster stuff. These kids don't come around here acting gangster, acting like they streets or none of that. I don't know who the kids is. I just know they kids, man.
The Georgia Bureau of Investigation, per protocol when an officer is involved in a deadly shooting, is now handling the case. And its preliminary report differs from that of Clayton County's account of what led up to this shooting.
After that, it just rapidly shooting. Bum, 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 bum.
Clayton County Police Chief Kevin Roberts says El Nas was armed and running towards officers when he was fatally shot. But the GBI report says El Nas was running away from officers and makes no mention of him being armed.
I don't move in justifications right now. This is an investigation that the GBI is doing. So we're going to make our remarks in line with the facts as we know them at this time and await the finalization of the entire investigative process.
The GBI says agents did recover a handgun from the scene. Clayton County put the officer who shot El Nas on administrative leave, which is routine in an officer-involved shooting.
We've lost a life and we value everybody's life, and this is unfortunate.
It was hurtful, very emotional. It's hard to describe the feeling knowing that you can't do nothing about it.
Thanks so much to Don Shipman for that report. We're going to continue to follow the latest on that developing story. Okay, let's turn to this issue for Atlanta parents. You know, you're going to get another chance to see if the Atlanta Public Schools superintendent finalists got, you know, if they've got what it takes to lead the district. Atlanta News First, Asia Wilson is at the new schools at Carver and Carver Early College campus where a town hall will be held. And parents say they want someone who will really make a difference.
Yeah, for the most part, most parents that I spoke with out here say they're happy about change coming to the district, but they also say with the new leader, they want to see more community engagement and a focus on curbing violence in schools.
I press myself to challenge to serve children really exceptionally well.
On Monday night, Dr. Brian Johnson addressed parents in the community at Midtown High School in the first of 6 town hall meetings after being selected as Atlanta Public Schools' sole finalist for superintendent. He spoke about some of his top priorities, one of them being a focus on literacy.
I think that would be great because some students need more help than others.
Sonia Stewart has 2 grandchildren in the district. She says the change in leadership will be good, but she has some concerns.
I think it needs to be more interaction. I think They should go into the schools and see what needs to be done.
Last Tuesday, when the district announced Dr. Johnson as the finalist, he spoke about being out in the community if he is selected.
I want to listen and understand what the challenges are, and you only get that listening by being on the ground. So we'll be on the ground, we'll be in schools, we'll be in the community.
Another worry for some parents?
With all of the violence in the school, particularly.
Johnson addressed that too, speaking about having a qualified security and police force, also adding that the board has allotted funds in the budget for more supports for things like social and emotional learning.
Obviously, we know we want the environment to be safe. We want to support teachers with classroom management and such, but we really want to create an environment where children feel safe, adults feel safe, and that it's conducive for learning.
And thanks so much to Asia for that report. Again, we have the information on our website if you're interested in that town hall. Okay, you know what? This Pride
Now
Month.
tonight, Dr. Johnson will be here at the new schools at Car.
So this Pride Month, a Georgia-born Emmy award-winning journalist nearly lost it all when he came out as gay, and now he is opening up about all that. Atlanta News First Don Shipman reveals the triumphant journey of former Atlanta anchorman Mark Pettit.
My mother loved this picture.
Mark Pettit seemingly had it all. After a short few years of climbing the ranks in smaller TV markets, he landed his dream job working in Atlanta's local news, digging for the truth as an investigative reporter and delivering the headlines from the anchor desk.
As far back as I can remember, all I ever wanted to be was an anchorman.
How old were you then?
I was about 26.
26 and driven. Pettit, a Calhoun, Georgia native, now in his 60s, shows me newspaper clippings from back in the late 80s and 90s, highlighting a career filled with interviewing serial killers, revealing holes in airport security, and uncovering government corruption. His dream job made him a hometown hero.
I had a singular focus, and that was getting to the bottom of things.
But you were hiding something.
The hometown hero had a secret.
In his new heart-wrenching memoir, Anchor Boy, Pettit details his struggles growing up gay and closeted during the height of the HIV/AIDS epidemic.
Did you come out or were you outed?
Kind of a combination of both. I was doing great professionally, 3 Emmys in 2 years, but I was coming home at night and I was miserable. I started making mistakes. I went out to meet a guy for drinks at Blake's, and he said, "You know you're taking a big risk."
Over the next few years, Pettit decided that risk was worth taking. He came out, met someone, and fell in love. Both personally and professionally, life was good, until it wasn't.
I lost my job in TV news, and not long after, I lost my first real boyfriend to AIDS.
Were you suicidal?
Maybe, to be honest with you.
Pettit says his life spiraled out of control. In an attempt to find himself, he escaped into the gay party scene. In his book, he writes that drugs and alcohol and a subsequent drug overdose led to a wake-up call. It didn't happen overnight, but a career change would change his outlook on life. During this Pride Month, Pettit's message to others in Georgia's LGBTQ+ community: have the courage to be your authentic self.
I want people to live your life openly, live it honestly, because yes, there may be a price to pay today, but there will be a greater cost tomorrow.
Mark's best-selling book, Anchor Boy, is available on Amazon and wherever you buy your books. Today, Pettit is a part of a successful marketing firm and works as an actor, appearing in commercials, TV shows, and movies, often portraying what he loved doing so many years ago, being an anchorman. Don Shipman, Atlanta News First.
And thanks so much to Don for that report. We have more on all these top stories on our website, atlantanewsfirst.com, as well as our free mobile news app. And there you can download that completely free in the Apple and Google Play stores and get all your top stories. You can also get breaking news updates and first alert weather updates sent right to your phone. Thanks for joining us.